In my introductory lecture on the novel Waiting for the Mahatma, I talked about the broad outline of the theme of the novel. In this lecture, I shall talk about the presence of Mahatma Gandhi in Waiting for the Mahatma. This novel of R.K. Narayan is unique in the sense that it has Gandhi not as a distant ideal, that he is exercising different kinds of influences on the minds of the people. Here, Gandhi is present in flesh and blood. Gandhi, the real man, is present here as a character. It means that Mahatma Gandhi here interacts with fictional characters like Sri Ram, Bharati, and Natesh, and others also. He interacts with children who are also fictional characters. To remember in the mind that Mahatma Gandhi in this novel is present as a real man. The question arises, what are the forms of this presence? The first thing which strikes our mind while reading this novel is that Mahatma Gandhi is here in two roles: as a spiritual liberator, which may be called a spiritual teacher, and a father. So first I would like to talk about the role of Gandhi in this novel as a spiritual teacher or a spiritual reformer, or we can say a raiser of man's consciousness. As a man who teaches through his actions, not through his preaching, that the real meaning of human life lies in caring for the spiritual aspect of life, not going after the material things of life. Mahatma Gandhi reaches one day at Malgudi to address the people about freedom of the country. That is the real freedom of the country. The officers of the town and the chairman of the municipal council of the town of Malgudi have decided that Mahatma Gandhi will stay at Neel Bagh, the palatial building built by Mr. Natesh after spending a lot of money on its construction. Mahatma Gandhi goes for some time to the palace, Neel Bagh of Mr. Natesh. But Gandhi is not enamored. Gandhi is not very happy with this building. He goes there, but he spends time caring more for the poor children who have come from the poor neighborhood of the town than for caring for the feelings of, or the pampered feelings of Mr. Natesh. Yes, he inquires and says that Natesh has built a very good building. But most of the time, he spends at the palace is spent by Mahatma Gandhi in talk with the children, the poor children. He gives them fruits, calls them near him, make them sit with him on the divan, which has been arranged by Mr. Natesh for Gandhi. Mr. Natesh is not happy with all these things. He's playing with children, giving fruits and flowers and all the things. And when the evening approaches, Mahatma Gandhi says that he will stay not at Neel Bagh for the night, but in the sweeper's quarters. So here is the real action of Gandhi to reject material opulence in favor of the simplicity of the poverty of the sweeper squatters. Here we get a real definition, that is the Gandhian definition of what is the real meaning of human life. Through this action of Gandhi, the action of rejecting Neel Bagh and accepting for a stay the sweeper squatters, is a very loud statement from Gandhi that life of service is far more important, far more valuable than material life symbolized by Neel Bagh. So this is the first thing which we learn through a concrete action of Gandhi, that man's life is spiritual. Man is first a soul, then a body. Man is a soul walking in a body. This is the first thing. And the purpose of creating this kind of Gandhi in the novel is to teach the readers the moral lesson that a life of service is the real life. And that life is symbolized by the sweepers of Malgudi, not by Mr. Natesh, the chairman of the Municipal Corporation of Malgudi. This is the first picture of Gandhi. Gandhi, the spiritual reformer, the person who raises our consciousness as a spiritual being. The next role of Gandhi here is as a father, as a very caring father. We learn from the text of the novel that Mahatma Gandhi considers Bharati as his own daughter. Bharati was taken care of by Gandhi from her very childhood. We learn that Bharati was an orphan whose parents were killed during a communal riots. And Mahatma Gandhi picked her up from a street, raised her up according to his own ideals, and she becomes a symbol, a walking symbol of the simplicity, the spirituality of a Gandhian way of life. She is a constant companion of Gandhi, a follower of Gandhi, a disciple of Gandhi, an implementer of Gandhi's ideals in real life. She is the spokesman, we can say, of Gandhi. But Gandhi cares for her not as a distant guardian, not as a spiritual reformer only, but as a warm, caring father. She is like a daughter, and later on Sri Ram becomes like a son. This, the human part of Gandhi, is very touching in this novel. He becomes very happy that in the form of Sri Ram, Bharati, his daughter, has got a friend who, at its due date, become the life partner. And Gandhi, when I say that Gandhi here as a real presence, as a father, he talks to Bharati and Sri Ram face to face as well as through correspondence. So here, remember that Gandhi's presence in this novel is as a real person interacting with fictional characters. Bharati and Sri Ram, Mr. Natesh, and others also, children, are fictional characters created by the imagination of R.K. Narayan. Yes, the imagination is rooted in the Indian culture, in the soil of Malgudi, that is a microcosm of all the small towns of India, a real small town India, and all the people look as real as Gandhi. But fundamentally, these characters, except Gandhi, are fictional, and Gandhi is interacting with them. So here, the warmth of a father is reflected in the actions, in the assurances, in the promises in the ever readiness to help their son and daughter, his son and daughter. Here is the real warm touch of Gandhi as a man, as we feel a father is caring for his son and daughter. Gandhi gives the permission that marriage should take place between Sri Ram and Bharati. But when the time comes, Sri Ram is always insisting that marriage should take place. But because he is very passionate in his love for Bharati. But Bharati accepts with full devotion the assurance of Gandhi that a day will come when he will grant his permission. And this is the justification of the title of Waiting for the Mahatma. As long as Gandhi doesn't give permission, the marriage will not take place. This is the thing we should keep in mind. That here Gandhi, as a father, becomes very happy that my daughter has got a good friend, but he doesn't make any haste. The most important thing to remember is that Gandhi appears to be very warm here, very, very warm. And for him, there is no haste. And Bharati, and later on Sri Ram himself, accepts the assurance that Gandhi, Babu, the father, will give permission for the marriage. And another aspect of Gandhi that comes here, that he remembers everything, even small things about Bharati and Sri Ram is recorded in the mind of Gandhi. Gandhi here is not just a sublime or a very distant figure of liberator of the country, but as a very near, very warm father for Bharati and Sri Ram. So here we have Gandhi, who is a spiritual father as well as a human father, a spiritual raiser of consciousness as well as a father who is always ready to help his children. So here, Gandhi is present in a very unique way as a real man, as he was in his real life. And R.K. Narayan has done a very wonderful job of presenting Gandhi here in interaction with his fictional characters. In the novel, the readers become very happy with the presence of Gandhi, that here Gandhi is present before us, not as an ideal, not only as an ideal, but a real human figure who acts as a father. We are touched with the warmth of Gandhi, the man. In the next lecture, I shall talk about the character of Sri Ram, because as I told in my introductory lecture, the character of Sri Ram symbolizes the potential of man to raise himself to great heights under the influence of a great soul like Gandhi and under the guidance of a beautiful soul like Bharati.